As I settled into the comfortable armchair by the large window, the soft light of the afternoon sun filtering through the curtains, I glanced around at the cozy living room. It was a place where I often found peace, but today it felt like a stage. The warmth of the room was matched only by the warmth I felt in my heart, knowing I was about to share something close to my own experience with those who had so generously trusted me over the years. I'm Dr. Evelyn Thompson, a specialist in geriatric care with over 4 decades of experience helping older adults navigate the changes that come with age. I've been privileged to not only care for the elderly, but also to listen to their stories, their struggles, and their triumphs. Over the years, one topic has come up repeatedly among the women I've worked with, something so personal, yet rarely discussed: the change in body odor as we age. I remember the first time I noticed the shift in my own scent. It wasn't a drastic change at first, but one day I caught a whiff of something unfamiliar. It wasn't the usual fresh scent of my favorite perfume, but a softer, powdery smell that seemed to be coming from my skin. It made me realize how little attention we pay to something so natural, but often embarrassing: the evolution of body odor with age. Today, I want to talk about it openly. You see, as women age, several factors like hormonal shifts, changes in skin chemistry, and even the foods we eat can influence how we smell. And no, it's not a bad thing. It's just part of the beautiful journey that comes with growing older. I've spent years researching how we can manage these changes gracefully. So let's dive in and explore how we can stay fresh, confident, and proud of the changes we experience in our bodies. After all, aging is something to embrace, not fear. As I settled deeper into the chair, I took a slow breath, letting the memories flood in. The years have taught me many things, but the most personal lesson has been about the subtle, almost unnoticed changes in our own bodies, particularly as we grow older. And for me, one of the most intriguing and somewhat surprising changes has been with my own skin chemistry. When I was younger, I remember the constant battle with my oily skin. As a teenager, I had acne flare-ups, the kind that left me self-conscious, always reaching for the latest products to control the oil. It seemed like the more I tried to manage it, the worse it became. But in the years that followed, as I entered my 40s, something shifted. The oil that once coated my face and body seemed to dissipate, almost as if my skin had simply decided to stop producing it. At first, I thought it was just a phase, but soon, I realized that this was something deeper, a natural change that happens as our bodies age. This shift in oil production didn't just affect the feel of my skin, it changed how I smelled. You see, the oils we naturally produce act as a carrier for scent molecules. When we're younger, that oil can enhance both natural body odors and perfumes we wear. But as our skin produces less oil, it's no longer able to hold on to these scents in the same way. The result? My skin started to give off a much softer, more delicate scent. It wasn't the strong, musky body odor I had in my youth, nor the scent of the perfumes I used to wear. Instead, it became something lighter, almost sweet or powdery. For a moment, I was unsure of what was happening. I even wondered if I had changed too much. Was this new scent an unwelcome sign of age? But as I sat with the feeling, I came to realize that this change in scent was part of a much larger process: the evolution of my body as it embraced the natural course of aging. It's not just about losing that strong odor we associate with youth. As our skin ages and produces less oil, our body's natural bacteria also change, influencing how we smell. This shift can often result in a scent that's gentler, something that can be described as soft and even comforting. For many women, like myself, it's a shift that brings an unexpected sense of peace, perhaps even a little sweetness. Rather than something to fear, I'm learning to embrace this change. And as I share this with you, I hope it helps you too, to see aging not as a loss, but as a transformation that can bring unexpected beauty. Just as our skin chemistry evolves, so too can our confidence and understanding of ourselves. And trust me, ladies, it's a change we can manage with grace. As I spoke these words, I could see the glimmer of understanding in the eyes of the women gathered around me. We had all been through something similar, though many of us were too embarrassed to ever discuss it. Body odor, it's such a personal subject, isn't it? One that most of us don't want to bring up, especially as we age. For years, I never really thought about how my body smelled. It was just something I took for granted, something that existed in the background of my life. I was too busy navigating the more obvious aspects of aging, the changes in my energy, the slowing of my metabolism, the little creaks in my bones. But one day, I found myself wondering, why does my body smell different? It wasn't a bad smell, not exactly, but it was definitely not the same as when I was younger. In my youth, I had that distinct, natural scent, a mixture of body chemistry and the perfume I wore. But now, as I entered my 60s, I began to notice something softer, almost powdery. At first, I dismissed it. Surely, I thought, it was nothing more than a passing phase, or maybe even the perfume I was using. But as time went on, I began to realize that the change wasn't just about the scent I applied to my skin, it was about the scent coming from my skin. This realization made me feel vulnerable. The idea that our body odor could change with age, that it could be something so intimately connected to our personal identity, was a bit unsettling. After all, as women, we are often taught to maintain a certain image of freshness and youthfulness. It's what society expects of us. And to have something so private, so personal change, without warning, felt like an intrusion into the parts of me I'd always been in control of. But as I reflected on it more, I started to feel differently. It was, in many ways, a beautiful and natural part of growing older. Just like the changes in our skin, hair, and energy levels, our scent is a part of that process. And while it's not something we talk about often, it's something that I believe we should. For women, especially, there's a certain comfort in knowing that you're not alone in this experience. So many of us, as we approach menopause and beyond, go through similar changes, and yet we rarely speak of them. Perhaps we fear being judged, or maybe we don't want to draw attention to something so intimate. But in all my years of working with older adults, I've come to understand how important it is to address these things openly. We don't have to hide behind the veil of silence anymore. Our bodies are changing, yes, but that doesn't mean we have to feel ashamed. Embracing these shifts with grace and understanding can help us feel empowered, not embarrassed. And that's what I want to encourage you all to remember. You're not alone. Your body, your scent, your experience, they are all part of this remarkable journey of aging. Together, we can face it, talk about it, and manage it with dignity. So, I invite you to join me in accepting this change, in acknowledging it, and in feeling a sense of comfort, knowing that with every stage of life, we continue to grow and evolve not just in how we look, but in how we embrace ourselves fully. As I continued to speak, I could feel the room quiet down, the weight of my words settling in. This wasn't just about body odor or the changes we go through. With age, it was about taking control. I could see that many of the women in front of me were nodding in understanding, some even looking a little relieved. The truth is, once you accept that these changes are a natural part of life, you can approach them with a sense of empowerment rather than fear or embarrassment. And that, ladies, is the key to managing how we smell as we age. Now, let me share some practical solutions that I've found incredibly helpful over the years. These are simple adjustments, things you can start today to feel more in control of your body and the changes you're experiencing. The first and most important step is to look at your diet. As we age, our metabolism slows down and our body processes foods differently. Certain foods can have a direct impact on our scent. Things like garlic, onions, and red meat can make us smell stronger, while citrus fruits, leafy greens, and even green tea can help neutralize odors. I found that increasing my intake of foods rich in antioxidants, such as berries, leafy vegetables, and citrus, not only helps me feel better, but also helps manage my body's scent. Next, let's talk about skincare. As our skin produces less oil, it becomes drier, which can affect how we smell. One of the best things I've done for myself is to use a gentle, exfoliating scrub a couple of times a week. Exfoliation helps remove dead skin cells where certain compounds, like 2-nonanol, can build up. This compound, as you may recall, is part of the natural aging process that can contribute to the scent we associate with older skin. Exfoliating regularly not only makes me feel fresher, but it also helps my body odor stay softer and less noticeable. Don't forget to stay hydrated too. Drinking plenty of water throughout the day helps flush out toxins and keeps your skin looking and feeling its best. Now, when it comes to clothing, I've found that the fabrics we wear make a huge difference. Synthetic fabrics like polyester trap moisture and bacteria, which can exacerbate body odor. I've started choosing natural fabrics like cotton and linen, which breathe better and allow sweat to evaporate more naturally. And remember, ladies, never underestimate the power of fresh air. Opening windows, keeping your living space well ventilated, and using air purifiers can drastically improve the environment in which we live. It's amazing how much cleaner and fresher your surroundings can make you feel, and that includes your scent. Lastly, it's all about creating an environment where you feel comfortable. I've started making small changes to my home, like using natural air fresheners, keeping fabrics clean, and even using baking soda to freshen up furniture and carpets. These little tweaks not only keep my space smelling fresh, but they also give me a sense of control over the changes I'm experiencing. It's these practical steps that allow us to feel empowered, like we're actively managing the changes in our bodies, instead of simply reacting to them. By incorporating these simple steps into your daily routine, you can regain control over your personal scent. Aging doesn't have to mean surrendering to changes that feel out of our hands. With the right care and attention, we can navigate this journey gracefully and confidently, just as I've learned to do. So, I encourage you all to take these tips to heart, to try them out, and see how they work for you. The more you take charge of these changes, the more empowered you'll feel. It's all about embracing the new chapter of life with open arms, and doing so with confidence. As I looked around the room, I could see the mixture of emotions reflected on the faces of the women gathered there. Some looked contemplative, others a bit relieved, and many were nodding in agreement. What I had shared wasn't just about body odor, it was about life, the passage of time, and most importantly, the power we have to manage these changes. Aging is a natural part of life, and for all the beauty it brings, it also carries challenges, especially when it comes to how we feel about ourselves and how we relate to our bodies. But I want to remind you, as I always remind myself, that we don't need to face these challenges alone, and we certainly don't need to face them with shame or fear. Body odor, as personal as it is, has everything to do with health, self-care, and self-awareness. As we age, changes in our body chemistry can be expected, And one of those changes is in the scent of our skin. But here's the thing, this isn't something to fear or shy away from. In fact, when we approach this change with the right knowledge and attitude, we can not only manage it, but actually use it as an opportunity to enhance our self-care routines. The key, as I've discovered over the years, lies in understanding how our bodies work as we age and how we can adjust our habits accordingly. When I started researching body odor and its connection to aging, I was surprised by how much there is to learn. In the past, I might have brushed it off as just one of those uncomfortable topics we don't really talk about. But as I started diving deeper into the science of aging and skin chemistry, I realized that these changes are all part of the natural process of growing older. Our bodies go through a lot. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, our oil production slows down, our hormones fluctuate, and yes, even the bacteria on our skin change. This all contributes to the way we smell. But here's the good news. When we understand these changes, we can take control. I want you to know that you have more power over how you feel and how you care for yourself than you might think. This is where the sense of empowerment comes in. The more we learn, the more we realize that aging doesn't mean surrendering to changes. It means embracing them with knowledge and doing what we can to manage them in a way that promotes health, well-being, and confidence. Think about it. With the right self-care routine, you can help your body remain fresh and vibrant no matter your age. When I switched to a balanced diet rich in antioxidants and started taking better care of my skin, not only did I notice a difference in my scent, but I also felt more energetic and confident. Our diet has a huge impact on our body's natural scent. Foods like citrus fruits, leafy greens, and even green tea work wonders in keeping our bodies detoxified and refreshed, which ultimately helps with scent control. And don't forget about hydration. Water is a miracle worker for the skin and body, helping flush out toxins and keeping your skin soft and radiant. One of the most empowering moments for me, and I hope it will be for you too, was realizing how much control I have over my environment. Yes, as we age, we may have to deal with changes in our body's chemistry, but we can choose how we manage these changes. From wearing breathable fabrics like cotton and linen to using gentle, pH-balanced body washes, these small adjustments can make a world of difference. The simple act of creating a peaceful, fresh space around you, filled with clean air and natural scents, can not only help you manage body odor, but also enhance your overall sense of well-being. These are the kinds of choices we can make every day to help us feel better about ourselves. And here's another thing. I'm here to tell you that you're not alone in this journey. You're not the only one experiencing these changes, and there's no reason to feel embarrassed or self-conscious about it. Aging is a part of life, an inevitable one. Yes, but it's also a beautiful journey. It's one that offers us the chance to grow, to learn, and to improve how we take care of ourselves. With the right approach, you can age gracefully, with a sense of empowerment and confidence, knowing that you have the tools and knowledge to care for your body at every stage of life. So remember this. Aging doesn't mean losing control, it means gaining wisdom and the power to choose how we take care of ourselves. We don't have to accept these changes passively. Instead, we can take an active role in managing them, ensuring that we stay healthy, confident, and vibrant no matter how old we are. Just as I've learned to do over the years, I encourage you to embrace the changes with grace and confidence. You've got this. As I continued to speak, I could see the women in the room begin to relax a little, their shoulders dropping as the tension seemed to melt away. I could sense a collective sigh of relief. They were realizing what I had come to understand through my own journey. These changes, the shifts in our bodies, our skin, our scent, they're completely natural. And more importantly, they're manageable. This isn't something to fear, and it certainly isn't something to feel embarrassed about. It's just part of the beautiful process of aging. When I first started noticing the changes in my own body, I was taken aback. I wasn't sure what to make of it. At first, it felt a little uncomfortable. The scent of my skin was different, softer, maybe even a little sweeter or powdery. I'd been used to that stronger, more musky scent from my younger years, and the change was startling. But as I began to research and understand the science behind these shifts, I realized that this wasn't a sign of something going wrong, it was simply the natural progression of life. I shared this with the group, explaining that understanding the science behind body odor and aging was the key to feeling in control. When you know that these changes are natural and can be managed with a few adjustments, it becomes so much easier to embrace them. There's no need for fear, no need for shame. This was an essential lesson that I had learned the hard way, and now I could pass it on to others, especially to women who might feel anxious about these changes, and help them take control of their own bodies in a healthy and positive way. Think about it, I said, my voice steady and encouraging. What if I told you that, with a few small changes, you could minimize the scent changes and even enhance the natural fragrance of your skin? What if I told you that something as simple as staying hydrated, eating a diet full of antioxidants, and using the right skincare products could make a significant difference? I paused, letting those words sink in. The room was silent for a moment, and then I saw the spark of curiosity in their eyes. They were listening closely, eager to learn more. It was as though I had just unlocked a door to something they didn't even know was there, a hidden secret, a way to embrace aging with confidence rather than fear. These changes are completely natural, and by understanding how our bodies work as we age, we can find the balance that works best for us, I continued. In fact, when you make just a few adjustments like switching to a pH-balanced body wash, wearing breathable fabrics, or even incorporating certain foods into your diet, you can truly influence how you feel about yourself. The best part? It's not hard, and the results can be dramatic. I could see their faces light up with hope and curiosity, their minds racing to absorb the information. They were beginning to realize that this wasn't just about scent, it was about feeling empowered, about taking control of their health and well-being. This was a new way of thinking. It was about shedding the fear of aging and instead embracing it with open arms. It was a transformation of perspective, a shift in mindset. Instead of fearing the changes that come with aging, these women were beginning to see the potential for growth, renewal, and confidence. They were ready to discover how they could manage these changes with grace, and maybe even enhance their experience of getting older. That moment in the room was a turning point, not just for me, but for all of us. It was the beginning of a journey into understanding and managing body odor as we age, and with it, a new sense of empowerment. This wasn't about hiding away or feeling ashamed. It was about taking control of our lives and embracing who we are at every age. And as I spoke those words, I could feel a shift, a change in the air, as if we were all standing on the edge of something transformative. As I concluded my story, I looked around the room, taking in the expressions of the women before me. I could see that the conversation had shifted. The apprehension and discomfort that often accompany the topic of aging and body changes had transformed into a sense of empowerment. I could feel their curiosity, their openness, and their eagerness to take control of their own journeys. This was exactly the kind of transformation I had hoped for, where knowledge meets action and where fear is replaced with confidence. Before we end today's video, I said, my voice warm and inviting, I want to remind you that aging is not something to fear. It's a natural part of life, and how we manage these changes is what truly matters. We've learned that our bodies go through shifts, including changes in our scent. And while those changes are normal, there are things we can do to manage them. It's all about embracing our bodies, understanding the science behind those changes, and finding the solutions that work for us. You are not powerless in this process. I paused, giving them a moment to reflect on everything I had shared. I hope you're leaving today feeling a little more in control, a little more at peace with your own body and the changes it undergoes as you age. Now, I'd love to hear from all of you. I smiled, looking directly into the camera. If this video resonated with you, please take a moment to like and subscribe to Senior Moments Matt. I want to hear your thoughts, your questions, and your personal experiences. Have you noticed any changes in your body as you've gotten older? What strategies have you used to embrace those changes, or even to manage body odor and other aging-related issues? Please, share in the comments below. I could already feel the connection between me and my audience deepening as I continued. And remember, you are not alone in this. Let's continue the conversation. Let's support each other, and let's create a space where we can share our experiences, learn from one another, and celebrate aging together. We're all in this journey together, and the more we talk about it, the more empowered we'll be. I took a deep breath and smiled once more. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being part of this community. Your experiences matter. Your voice matters. So please, don't hesitate to reach out, share your stories, and let me know what you'd like to see next. I'm here for you, and I look forward to continuing this conversation in the next video. The screen faded to the channel's logo, the soft music playing in the background, but I knew this video would stay with them. It wasn't just about the physical changes, it was about shifting the narrative around aging, body image, and the power of self-care. These women were leaving with a new sense of purpose, feeling empowered to manage their bodies as they age, to be proactive about their health, and to feel more confident in their own skin. The core message of today's video revolves around empowerment. Aging is inevitable, but that doesn't mean we have to feel out of control when it comes to the changes in our bodies. Whether it's understanding how our body's chemistry changes as we age, managing body odor, or simply accepting that these changes are a natural part of life, the video provides a comforting, informative, and supportive approach to these transformations. The key lessons from this video are understanding change, recognizing that changes in our body, such as body odor, are natural and inevitable. This awareness reduces fear and allows for a more peaceful approach to aging. Taking control, there are actionable solutions, such as skincare routines, dietary changes, and clothing choices that can help manage body odor and enhance our self-confidence. By making these small adjustments, we can take control of how we feel about our bodies. Self-acceptance and empowerment. Aging should not be a source of shame. Embracing the changes in our body and finding ways to manage them with grace gives us power, confidence, and the opportunity to continue feeling our best. Community support. The importance of connecting with others who are going through the same experiences. Sharing stories, tips, and experiences creates a community where everyone can feel supported and empowered. Before we wrap up today's video, I'd love to hear from all of you. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Senior Moments Matt channel so you never miss out on more insightful and empowering content. I truly value your thoughts, so please share your feelings about today's story in the comments below. Have you noticed any changes in your body as you've aged, or perhaps discovered ways to manage those changes? Feel free to leave your questions, share your experiences, or let us know what topics you'd like to explore next. Let's continue this conversation together and build a community where we can all share, learn, and support each other on this beautiful journey of aging. Thank you for being part of this journey with us.